Exclamation everybody, and welcome back to the LCM Network server. This is the beginning of Season 3 for me anyway. Others on the server like Puka have already started their season, which is very cool indeed. I finally got the time necessary to get myself squared away here and situated. You get a nice little view from my balcony of the area. We're going to take a little tour around, as well as do some building, hopefully, so we can get some things accomplished. But before I do that, let us. It's very important. I should say this. It's very important that I get this recording out on the 21st of January, and the reason for that being is that it will be exactly 1 year of playing on the LCM server for me, and 1 year since my first episode here on the LCM server back in Season 1, the Season 1 map that we had. So it's very nostalgic and very necessary for me to get this out in a timely manner. So hopefully that will work out for me. So very cool. It's been exactly 1 year of playing on LCM, and I'm still just as bad at building as I was in the beginning. You can, if you feel like it, go back and watch my first video. It is cringeworthy and hard to watch, much like my dancing in real life. But I wouldn't have my channel any other way. I like my channel like I like my dancing. So here is what I was looking at, or trying not to look at, in my update video talking about the end of Season 3. This is my house that I've built, and I'm still working on the aesthetics of the house, like getting a lawn and getting some furniture in there and everything else. But I decided to kick off this season with a bang and have something that's actually hopefully somewhat respectable. It's turning out pretty nice, I would say, although I think, like I said, there's still some room for improvement. Maybe not having something here that breaks us up a little bit more, perhaps. Jonesy is on and off at the server as we're on here. But this house is actually, I needed some inspiration, and so I looked on Google Images and I did a search for Cliff House. And this will, if you do that image search, you will eventually come upon this. It's on the first page. It's a couple links, a couple pictures below the fold. And actually, I've made some modifications, both intentional and not intentional. One of the modifications was, and this was the unintentional one, I have it flipped by accident. This part over here is supposed to be over here, and that part is supposed to be over here. I just started building and then realized that I was doing it completely ass backwards. But it's okay. It still seems to work out quite all right. It was supposed to be asymmetrical and all these other things. The other thing is the building, the walls of the building are sort of like this, where they go all the way up. And they are slightly diagonal, at least it looks like it from the picture, but not quite as diagonal as I have it here. And that's, there's only so much. I wanted to shrink it down so I didn't take up too much room, but at the same time still make it look very different than what I would normally build. So that's where that is. That's where that came from. Also, the house that I was using, the picture of the house I was using as an inspiration, this part down here didn't exist. This was actually a hill, and only this top portion was in there. So you would actually walk up the hill and enter the house on the second floor, and then you would have to come down onto the first floor, which is just this little first floor area here and nothing else. And then, that's the whole top floor was as it appears there. So I decided to, I was going with that initially, and then I thought, no, you know what? It looks too gimmicky. So I thought, and I didn't really like having the steps go up like that. So instead I've made a first floor addition on here, which actually works out a lot better because this wall doesn't look so bad now. It was pretty bad with a bare wall here, and now this looks really good, I think. In addition to that, this balcony here, I think this is okay. I think this looks like it can withstand itself without needing another support, because I didn't want to make it too far out to where it needed supports, but at the same time I didn't want it to, you know, I wanted to make sure there was a balcony on here. The house that I took the inspiration from, this part of the house was actually, the balcony was on top of this portion of the house. Because I shrunk everything down, it wasn't looking quite right, and these walls would have to come out a little bit further, which wasn't really, it was just making everything a little bit too big. So I went with this, where the balcony just kind of hangs out over here, even though in the original house it's just the roof of this area here. So I just did that just trying to shrink things down and make everything look half decent. As I said, need more stuff on the outside here to kind of make it look a little less flat, especially around here. Still have to do some work on the back, as you can imagine. But it does have a nice view of the large ocean that we have out there. Nothing down at the bottom of that ocean that I can see as of yet. And we'll come in here. We'll come into the main area. As you can see, I've dug through the wall here. The house, the picture of the house did seem to have a door down here, because there was like lawn furniture and stuff out here, and there was like a patio furniture. So they must have had a door here, and it looked like in the pictures they had some sort of door. So that's why I've got that there. And then I've stuck since you can't really see the inside, I've stuck the stairs into the groove here that's created by the diagonal wall, which I think actually works out really well. It's functional and yet not sticking out like a sore thumb. And then up here I've got my second floor. I've got a chimney up above here, which is really just for show. And then of course my furnaces and everything else. And the balcony that you were seeing. I was going to have 2 chase lounges here, but I didn't leave myself enough room, and I don't want to block the door. So instead I made just one large chase couch, if you will, which I think looks okay. And then we've got some iron bars for the railing here, and we've got a little overhang for the... Oh, Ian's on. Howdy. And then we got a little overhang for the roof. Another thing I should mention about the roof looks kind of funky. I don't want to use my stone because I don't have a pick that will give me that stone back, and I've spent some furnace fuel on it. Up here, the roof is a bit funky. It is quite funky. As you can see, it's kind of it's a mishmash of things. I have a rafter here going through. On the inside, it doesn't actually look so bad, I don't think. It's just on the outside here, it's a hot mess. It's pretty bad. But I was going more for the roof on the house that I was looking at was a relatively flat slate roof. So not flat, but it was not very angled up. It wasn't very prominent. So I was sort of going for that look, and I think it works out okay, given that it's cobblestone and there's not really any other cobblestone in the build, and I think it kind of stands out the way it's supposed to. As you can see on the inside here, it doesn't look too bad. There's this little sort of shelf area up here, which might be useful. I might throw some, since that's all stairs, I might throw some chests up there, and then I can access them without them being in the way here. Not that they're in the way now, but you know what I mean. So that's all cool. I think these are stairs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all stairs. Well, those may not be, but we'll see. We'll see when I put chests in there and I can't open them. And I got my bedroom here, and I just need to get a whole bunch of furniture going, and we will be very good to go. As you can see, everything very basic right now. Out here, as it becomes nighttime, working a little bit on the pathway up here. I want to get as much grass here as I can. I don't have a lot of dirt yet, so I'm trying to collect dirt as I go along and get some grass growing along here. And as you can see, we've got some large builds already happening. Very, very large builds. We'll take a look at that very briefly now. And I think that catches you up with what I've been doing here. Now, and it's unfortunate that it's becoming nighttime because it's going to make it much harder to look at some of these other builds. And I'm not the only one on, or I would reset the time. But it'll come over here, and I believe I forget who this is. This area is. It should say here somewhere. Can you? Oh yes, I can. Yes, let's do that. Hang on. Let's do that right now, because that would be very nice, so I can do some touring. And we'll get right over here and head on up. Head on up. Head on up. There we go. There we go. No problem. All right, that works out quite nicely because now I can take a look at things without worrying about the creepers. So over here, I believe, I forget who this is. So when I was looking for places to put the house there, and I was thinking about hills, I was going to put it over here, but this has already been claimed, which is why I didn't touch it. But I don't know if there's a sign up here. I know there's the Jesus Charlie or whatever it is, and there's a whole bunch of animal pens, but I forget who has claimed this. This might be Dima E Tree, which is down here, place down here. I don't know if this player was involved in the last season or not, or if they just came in on this season. I'm not quite sure, but you can see got a very nice house here out on the lake. That probably is their stuff. Not quite sure. And we'll just take a very quick peek at it. It looks like it's built right into this little formation, this little rock formation that was out on the river here, or out on the ocean, I should say. Oh, we can go all the way up top. Yep, there it is. This is all just built right into the side of this. Very cool. Nice little use of all the resources around here. Or a way of making a cave house that isn't a cave house. That's pretty much what I was trying to go for there. That house over there, out in the distance there, that I believe is Chaffee's. I say that because it looks like it's got the beginnings of a chicken cooker on it, and when I went down below, it was pretty well dug out in a straight line, or not a straight line, but in a nice tunnel area or rectangle area. All of those are signs that Chaffee has been there. So I assume that is his. Not much to see there, though. It was just I took a look at it to see if there's anything really to show off a little bit earlier, but it's still very early in the server, so there's not a whole lot in the way of aesthetics just yet, although I say that knowing full well that we're going to take a look over here and see what is going on. I believe this over here is I think this is Fred and Shogi's place, I think. It has a sign on it, which is good. I wish more people would put signs on stuff. They definitely have one. I just forget who it was here. Let's see. Yes, Fred and Shogi. See here, they've got some nice, they got all kinds of farms going. Stuff over there. This looks really cool, actually. That's a neat way of not having two window panes. It's a very cool aesthetic there, actually. That's really cool. And in here, the rafters and stuff, just awesome. You can see everybody and their grandmother's got glowstone already, which I don't know if the world border is turned on in the Nether or not. I assume it is. If it is, I'm going to have a hell of a time finding glowstone and quartz, I think. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And it looks like he's got, he's dug pretty far back here. It looks like it's dug into the mountain, which is really cool way of doing it. I like it a lot. So I like the different patterns here. See, it's this kind of stuff here, like the detail patterns and stuff. I wish I was better at that. I can sort of do it with floors, sort of, although this floor has a good pattern to it. I I just never seem to be able to figure out how to do it with other things. I guess I don't have that eye, I suppose, or I'm just usually in too much of a rush to really do it right. So I like it when I can see things like that and people have taken their time and really gotten things going there. It looks like there's a little bit of a mine shaft going on down there. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been getting rid of the lava, which has been bumming me out because coal is a little bit harder to come by since we have the world border, and I've been trying to use lava for smelting, and everybody's getting rid of it. You're killing me here, guys. Killing me here. And as you can see, they are building some large epic, what looks like a castle, and they're building it right up against the world border, and they keep expanding it as the world border expands. Although they're going to run into a problem here where there is no there is no mountain left. But I assume either they're going to keep doing it or this is the extent of it. I'm not quite sure. But it's kind of cool because it's as they're building it, the world border was expanding, and it looked like the world border was actually building the house for them. It's a very, very neat little aesthetic that they got going on there. And I like all the different uses of the woods. This is one of the nice things about having a world border. There's very few nice things about having a world border, but one of the nice things about having a world border is that everyone is sort of forced to use what is at hand. And since we don't have a desert yet, glass is hard to come by, although I've been doing my best to try to find as much sand as I can. And so most people are using stone and wood, and they're coming up with all these nice little aesthetic choices that, you know, if you had access to clay and all that stuff already, then, you know, you would be just using that. So it is kind of nice to see the different, to see the evolution of stuff. Because if we continue with the world border long enough, and we eventually uncover, you know, other biomes that are useful, like a red clay biome or whatever it's called, mesa biome, then it would be nice to see that, oh, all of a sudden we've got the mesa biome. Now stuff in the mesa biome is using clay and all that stuff. And then you can always come back here and say, oh, here's the original town and the original city. And that's not to say people won't come back to their original stuff and revamp them with new building blocks, but it is cool to see that. So it's very, very nice. Very nice, guys. Keep up the good work. Have fun storming the castle. And what do we got over here? Now, I believe in my update video, I said that I think Snapchats was over here building something. It looks like he has torn that down, whatever it was, and there is still this little area here. So I don't know if he's waiting for something or he's moved on to somewhere else. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure, indeed. But that is, as you can see, we're starting to get some of the dark oak wood over there. I'm seeing some of the saplings cropping up around here. Cropping up around the place. And we will come on over to the main area here. Now I'm seeing this thing just appear out of the forest here. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if there's a sign on it anymore. There wasn't the last time I looked at it, but the last time I looked at it, it was significantly smaller than it is right now. I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, but it is quite large. Whoops. Okay. All right. We're down in the water. I'm assuming. Okay. Can I not get up here now? Yeah, this sucks. Okay. I'm just going to do that and hope that wasn't necessary. We'll just put some andesite down there. Oh, Chandru. Chandru is making this. Chandru was here last season. Unfortunately, Chandru got stuck up on the top of the nether and did not have a means of returning. So Chandru's first season on LCM was cut somewhat short, unfortunately, by that. But this looks really cool. I assume that this is going to be some sort of I don't know. I assume it's going to be some sort of like museum or something. I see a lot of glass there, a lot of nice patterns on the floor. Oops. and various other things. Although it could just be just a plain old house, which would certainly work out as well. It would be a very nice floor plan here. So excellent. That is Chandra's place, and I believe just a hop, skip, and a jump away here is Captain Tin's place. Captain Tin's been on and doing some stuff. Unfortunately, when I'm on, there's nobody on because I'm on late at night, unfortunately, for most people because of time zones and all that fun stuff. Time zones suck, by the way. They really suck. But I believe, yes, this is Captain Tin's place, our good old buddy. And I'm not going to read that sign. I have a job for you. It's for the family. Leave a response behind the cow. Huh. Don't know what that... It's for the family. A job for you. Not quite sure what's going on there. He's got some bricks already. That's kind of cool. But yeah, he's got his little cabin in the woods that he tends to do all the time, which is nice. I like it. You can tell right away it's a tin building because it's just it's got his sort of signature feel to it. That and all the copious amounts of wheat around the area, which really adds to the aesthetic. It's just these are all like tells. If I walked across this building out in the middle of nowhere and I was like, and it had no sign on it, I would say, yeah, this probably is the work of Tin. And he's got, I think, a little bit of a mine going here, if I remember correctly. Yep, with the safe fall down there. So it is Captain Tin approved, I would say. Very cool. I like it. And blah, 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 blah. Over here, I believe, is Puka's place. I think, did I look at Puka's place already? I may or may not have. He's got a little hidden chest up here with, ooh, he's got some diamonds in there. And I have some diamonds too, so I don't need those. Yeah, he's got this smelting and some, does he have a, yeah, okay. I was wondering if he had a bed in there. Oops. He does, in fact, have a bed in there. So that's very cool. I need to take blocks off my bar because I'm inadvertently double-clicking all the time. And we've got wells all over the place. I believe Jonesy just said a little bit earlier, which he's not on right now, but I believe he just said that there is he's got an auto farm at the end of at the bottom of his well, which would be right here, I would imagine. Indeed it is. All right. I'm not quite sure how the auto farms actually work, but I assume that they are awesome and terrific, and so I will leave it at that. I will close that there. And okay, and then this is, of course, Jonesy's place. Lots of signs around here, and free food, and he's got... Oh, it looks like, okay. So he's got the awesome Fabry, he's got his stuff, and Puka's got a chest in here too. All right, so this was the first house that was built, so everybody sort of got a little bit who was on, that night. He's got a little chest for themselves, so. I am not going to go in another today. I went in there about a week or so ago, and there was no protection around the portal or anything, and I just don't really want that I don't want to die. I don't want the portal to get killed. That's really what it comes down to, and I don't have a means of relighting it either. I still have 14 levels, which I actually used a bunch to enchant my stuff here, and I still have some left. I don't know whose place that is. I assume that there's some sort of sign up there, but I'm not going to go look at it right now because it's going to take me forever and a day to get up there and take a look at it. Over here on our tour, so we've got a little enchanting area. I believe, who did this one? It did have a name on the sign, but we've got a little community enchanting room there. I believe Puka is working on the town hall, which looks like it's coming along quite nicely. We've got no end to the mobs around here. No end at all to the mobs. And this was, by the way, the first night on here was terrible. I was dying of hunger. I was dying of mobs. It was just, it was just one long train of ridiculousness, because the world border was making it so that these things couldn't spawn anywhere else except within 500 blocks of us. This is coming out shaping really good. So I like what I'm seeing here. I like it. And we will. There's still a creeper over here, right? Hey, creeper, come over this way so I can kill you, away from things that matter. And one more. Nope, two more. Ow. Alright, where's this? Where did that guy shoot me from? Oh, there he is. Damn these mobs, man. They are a pain in the neck. They're finding any little spot they can find. This here, I believe, is the work of Jonesy. I believe it is some sort of casino slot machine. I don't know how it works. I don't think it's in working order just yet. So I will leave that be. That mountain up there, somebody at some point is going to build something on the top of that. It's just a given. I would say, if I were a betting man, I would say that the master of Zen temples himself, probably Captain Tin, I imagine will put that is just calling out for a Zen temple on top of there. So I would imagine he would be right on top of that. But over in this little corner here that I have blocked up was my starting area, my little hidey hole. I've since vacated that now that I have a house. But over here we have Toad Dude's place. Yep, his home. He's got some furnaces going and everything else. It looks like he's got a second floor or a third floor going here. He's got his nice outlook of the world. Very cool. So as far as the last season goes, after I gave out, I did that holiday tour and I gave out all the presents and everything else. Shortly after, Toad actually went around and gave presents to people as well. And then right after that, the server hard drive died and we lost it all. So I don't know what Toad got me. I assume it was probably a creeper head and a change of pants. Or at least I hope it was. But whatever it was, thank you very much, Toad. I unfortunately did not get a chance to see whatever gift he had given. That unfortunate, but it is what it is. This cave down here is quite extensive, and I died in there a few times. So we will leave that be. Over here, oh, got more zombies, more mobs than we know what to do with here. Over here, very cool looking build. I should really take a better look at this. It's very hard to see when you're standing up close. But over here, it looks like it reminds me a lot of either small keeps or sort of watchtowers in like fantasy novels. And in fact, I believe this is Ian's place, and Ian is right over there now doing some stuff. If I remember correct, if I am correct in that assessment, I believe that this is stuff that he's been working on. There's a sign over there. Just take a look at it really quick. And take a look inside really quick. Yep, Ian's over here. Howdy. Just taking a look at your house, Ian and Benjo's house. And what do we got here? The inside looks really cool. It's got a dirt roof, which I don't know if that was intended or if it's just just to keep the rain off your head. Yes, very much so. You asked me if I like the place. It is quite cool. What is this like a boat launch over here? Is this a dock? Got a zombie over here. Might as well kill him while we wait. Oh, it's a bridge. Oh, nice. I mistook a dock for a bridge. I apologize profusely. Maybe it's because my bridges suck so bad that I'm like, this looks really awesome. It must be something really cool. Very cool indeed. I gotta kill all these guys. They are just a pain. We got nothing but zombies and oh, I'm not using my sword anymore here, and got skellies and everything else. It's all going to hell, I tell you. It's all going to hell. Oh, now we got a creeper here too. Well, I'll take this guy on while he's in the water, because it won't do any damage to the surrounding areas. Okay, there we go. Very good. All these trees, by the way, are my doing. Every time I chop down a spruce tree, I end up... oops, there's a creeper there. Every time I chop down a spruce tree, I replant one. So that is why we suddenly have a spruce forest here. Just so that I want to make sure that everyone has the same access to resources that I have because of the world border. Alright, so I have been talking for a long time, and I want to actually get some things accomplished. Man, that creeper right there. Look at that. He's like, you know what? You can come after me and I will blow up someone else's build and really bum you out. They're getting smarter. They're getting smarter. Okay, so over here is what I'm going to do next for our next build. Now, speaking of Toad, Toad in the last season, and I believe even in the season prior to that, made a hotel that everyone, a lot of people used as their temporary home until they actually built homes of their own. I'm being the awesome person that can come up with completely unique ideas that I am. I've decided to borrow that idea, and instead of doing a hotel, I'm making a series of small, what I'm calling budget houses here on the LCM server, and they'll have like small yards probably, and I've tried to line this up in such a way that if a road were to come through here, it would be straight. I don't know if Puka, if that's the extent of the this furthest extent of the town hall or not, but I tried to line it up as much as I could there so that if a road were to come through here, it would make sense. It's very hard to make roads on a multiplayer server because you don't want to grid people in and make them feel like they have to build within the grid. But at the same time, it would be nice to have some roads. So, waiting as long as I can before I get the urge to build a road here. But that said, I'm making some houses. They're going to be relatively similar houses. Maybe I'll do a little bit some differences here and there between them, just to give them a little bit of character. But they're meant to be sort of those townhouse developments where you just have a bunch of townhouses in a row. They all look relatively similar, and they're there for sort of low budget housing, where, you know, as people come onto the server, or if there are people on the server right now that don't have a home, they can for a little while just mosey on over here, pop their name on the door. I'll have a sign up there that just says vacant. They can change it, put their name on there, move in for a little bit. They'll have a nice little roof over their heads until they are ready, until they've built up all their materials and have a place of their own. So, without further ado, let me get started on this, and I will return with you guys. Alright everybody, I'm back. It's been about 45 minutes or so since I cut away, and I've been playing around with this one house here. I will eventually do things to these other houses, but I wanted to see what I was going for here as far as the house goes. The roof, I think I like sort of the A roof type of thing for these houses. It needs a little bit more detail, I would say. Not entirely sold on the cobblestone going up the sides. I'm thinking more and more that I will change that to just stone brick. I'm okay with the cobblestone down the bottom. I just don't know. I don't know. It does give it a little bit of a different look, so maybe I will keep the cobblestone going up the sides like that. But the more important thing is I do need to make this sort of hang out a little bit more and make it pop out the sides a little bit more and make it a little bit more interesting. As you can see, it's kind of still really flat, which is what I tend to do all the time. I've got the thing that everyone else is doing with the fence posts in the windows here. I haven't put any stairs in yet to get up to the second floor. That will be the next thing to do, figure out where those are going to go. I assume that the interiors I'm going to change around slightly for each one to make them a little bit different from one another. But I think for the basic essentials, I think this is, or the basic aesthetics, is probably what I'm going to go for. There's a lot more that I need to do as far as the outside here and sprucing up a bit. And again, I got to do something on the sides here with the roof if I can. And otherwise, I think this is shaping up kind of the way I was hoping it would. And then of course I will try to replicate that over here and then give them all like a little bit of a different, a little bit of a different texture on the outside of the door of the buildings and stuff like that. Just make them stand out a little bit differently from one another, so it's not just a copy paste job or the equivalent in Minecraft. But I think that will do it for this episode on the LiveCraftMine server, for the very first episode of Season 3, the 1-year anniversary of my first episode on the LiveCraftMine server 1 year ago today. Well, the day that you're watching this, the 21st. I'm actually recording this on the 20th. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.